I go away for one day, go to spend time with my girl and everything and her kids and stuff, spend the night, and I sure do miss a lot. And besides NXT, a lot came out yesterday. I am going to tell you this right now. Be sure to check out Unscripted this weekend because we have a lot to go over with many superstars asking for the release, and I'm sure more to come. This snowball effect by WWE superstars wanting to ask for the release is just going to keep on coming. So if you're tired of hearing about AEW and you're tired of hearing about all this hullabaloo of a new promotion, then the next 6 or 7 months, or probably like the next 6 or 7 weeks at least, are going to be not what you want to watch on YouTube or read in the dirt sheets and everything. There's a lot going on for wrestling. It's a good time to be a wrestling fan. If you're tired and say fuck WWE, AEW all the way, this is the time to do that. But that is not what we're here for today. Today we are talking about NXT that happened last night. It wasn't the best show out there in the world. NXT TakeOver Phoenix is set up 100% perfectly well. You have every title on the line, and most likely one more match added later on, but you have the North American Championship, Johnny Gargano versus Ricochet, Bianca Belair versus Shayna Baszler for the Women's Championship, War Raiders versus Undisputed Era for the Tag Team titles, and Tommaso Ciampa versus Aleister Black for the NXT Championship. This show is set up, and it has been set up for weeks already, so it is excused, and NXT is excused if they want to take time off to show other stars. We don't need to see Gargano, Ciampa, and Black and others dominate. Even though Johnny Gargano did wrestle last night, it's not all about them. We get to see others, from the Street Profits to the Humberto Carrillos of the world and everybody in between. The show started off with the Street Profits versus Chris and JC Metro, the Metro Brothers. Street Profits win this one via the Frog Splash, the high elevation Frog Splash. And every time I see Montez Ford, it just tells me that this guy, in the right hands, if they wanted to break up the Street Profits and make him the babyface as Dawkins would be the heel, because if that tag team is going to break up, it's got to be Angela Dawkins taking out Montez Ford, because Montez Ford is the guy for this team that you definitely want to look out for. Just gives you that vibe of he is going to be a star, and there is absolutely, especially with AEW coming around and becoming as big as it is, and if it becomes as successful as ever, AEW could scare WWE into eventually making a guy like giving Montez Ford a chance to be the big guy. And honestly, the Street Profits, they are a great tag team together. They are fun, they are exciting, they are exuberant. I don't see them being a tag team like the Dudley Boys you see for umpteen times, the Hardy Boys, the New Day as they are now, who have been together for about 4 or 5 years. I can see the Street Profits coming up to the main roster, maybe a year or two together on the main roster, and then one stabs the other one in the back, and they go their separate ways. Dawkins goes off to be irrelevant, while Montez Ford becomes one of the next big stars of WWE. Definitely, I think the Street Profits are going to have a huge 2019, and this is only just beginning for them. Post-match, though, the Street Profits get attacked by the Forgotten Sons. They try to fight back, but Riker drops Dawkins. Ford tries to fight back again, and Riker plants Ford to the mat. Crowd with the "We Forgot You" chant. Dawkins gets in the ring, but gets dropped by the trio again. So the fans chanted, "We forgot you. We forgot you," to the Forgotten Sons. And I'm a fan of Gunner from his Impact Wrestling TNA days, which is who is Jackson Riker. This entire, you have Wesley Blake, who was in Blake and Murphy, which that team was just god-fucking awful. That team was Alexa Bliss and Alexa Bliss only. When they lost those tag team titles and Alexa Bliss slapped them both and left, that was it. They were just irrelevant, they faded away, became obsolete, and Buddy Murphy reinvented himself, and now he's the Cruiserweight Champion on 205 Live. Wesley Blake is in his second team or faction group, and he's getting to become another irrelevant guy. The Forgotten Sons just going absolutely nowhere. Having two guys come out and just yeah, we're the Forgotten Sons, and then you have Jackson Riker just come out and give you that "I'm going to kill you" face, is just not enough. There is nothing about the Forgotten Sons that's even worth it. Backstage, Kathy Kelly talks with Matt Riddle and Keith Lee. Kelly asks if Riddle will be in Lee's corner, but he says he's not medically cleared to be near the ring. Riddle continues that he hopes Lee relieves some of Ono so he can finish him off. Somewhere in a random location, Alistair Black asks the NXT champion Tommaso Ciampa if he can feel it. The match is coming soon. Ciampa foolishly thinks he's safe, but Black fully plans on taking back his title and threatens to start the fight a little early next week. Next week is the go-home show to NXT TakeOver Phoenix and the Royal Rumble. The best part of the show was, of course, Bianca Belair and Shayna Baszler's promo. Belair comes to the ring, she gets on the mic and says after sending Nikki Cross packing, 2019 is her year and she's got 2020 vision on the NXT Women's Championship. Belair says Shayna Baszler thinks she is the baddest woman in the rest of the Four Horsewomen, following behind her. Belair says she will be taking that title because she's undefeated. Baszler comes out, Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke out with her. Baszler says she doesn't get to see the EST. She might be the strongest or fastest, but not the smartest. Baszler continues, it doesn't matter how big or strong Belair's arms are, she's going to rip them off anyway. Belair responds with, girl, nah, the only thing these arms are going to do is raise that title over her head. Baszler says Belair is just like everyone else who comes out, but Belair is just afraid of the hype. Baszler says she's going to change Belair from undefeated to overrated. Baszler says Shafir and Duke are the least of Belair's worries and backs them off, and as Baszler backs them away and turns her back to Belair, she gets slapped in the face. Belair dispatches Duke and bounces from the ring, laughing her way up the ramp. Need I say more? Just a great promo from these two, and it just gives you the fact that Shayna Baszler is going to probably lose the NXT Women's Championship to Bianca Belair. Being in the women's Royal, I honestly believe all three women of the Four Horsewomen are going to be in the Women's Royal Rumble. Quite honestly, simply because there is not enough women on the main roster without going and dipping in the nostalgia cookie jar again like we got last year for them to go and say, well, Kairi Sane was in it last year. I believe there was someone else from NXT in it last year as well. And while we have all three of these, I would not surprise me if Jessamine Duke, Marina Shafir, and Shayna Baszler are all three in the Women's Royal Rumble. Of course, Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir are only in the Rumble, whereas this is Shayna Baszler's main roster debut, and then she comes out on Raw or SmackDown the next night to raise hell. I honestly think she's going to be on SmackDown because with Ronda Rousey, and I've already pitched this before, Ronda Rousey being wanted by Fox for the SmackDown brand in October, when we get to the Superstar Shakeup, Ronda's going to SmackDown, Charlotte and Becky are going to be on Raw, Bayley and Sasha Banks are going to stay on Raw, and then eventually the SmackDown side is going to get all Four Horsewomen of MMA, while Raw has the Four Horsewomen of WWE. So when we get the Survivor Series, these four women are on different brands. One of them is going to be holding the Women's Championship on each side, so that is where you're going to get the Women's Championship in the Women's Champion title versus title match in that Four Horsewoman versus Four Horsewoman match. Moving on here, Adrian Jaru versus Dominik Dijakovic. What do you expect? It's a feast your eyes for the 1-2-3, which is a reverse. A reverse GTS. Instead of doing the fireman's carry, it's in a tortured rack. Listen, lead the face, and Dominik Dijakovic is your winner. Honestly, after 2 weeks of Dominik Dijakovic, really nothing there. When it was Chris Dijak who came out and wrestled like 2 matches or so against Ricochet was one, and I believe he wrestled another one. The guy had a little bit more to him, but since they just changed him and made him Dominik Dijakovic and have him just come out here, he's supposed to be like this big, huge, badass. Honestly, it feels like he's supposed to be like a badass Russian heel or something. There's really nothing to him. He feels bland. He's still in the building stages of his character, Dominik Dijakovic, so we'll just have to give it some time. But for now, I'm not impressed. Well, Raiders vignette comes out where they celebrate their previous victories by burning some Undisputed Era chairs. The duo says Undisputed Era has the reign, but Raw and Hanson will be the ones to end it, and that is undisputed. Then they do some highlights with TakeOver Blackpool with Drake, Zach Gibson, of course, won the tag team titles. Finn Balor made a surprise appearance to beat Jordan Devlin, which that was a beautiful match right there. Dave Mastiff won a brutal no DQ match. Terry Storm became the UK Women's Champion, and Joe Coffey lost to Pete Dunne as Walter also made his debut. So it's great to see that at least NXT itself is acknowledging its UK brethren. Then we had Humberto Carrillo versus Johnny Gargano, and of course Humberto Carrillo, who was announced for the Worlds Collide tournament for the 205 Live roster, but wasn't on that roster yet. Then he was taken out and it was to be named. The reason they did that is because he had not made his debut until Tuesday on 205 Live, because WWE decided to put 205 Live on Tuesdays. But Humberto Carrillo will probably be in that Worlds Collide tournament, and that'll be something fun to see when we get to the Royal Rumble weekend and whenever they put that on the WWE Network, which I honestly think will be the week after the Rumble. Gargano trying to chop down his opponent back and forth. Wrestles Carrillo using some evasive maneuvers. Kip up misses a kick, but nails an enziguri. Carrillo with a high elevation arm drag. Gargano out to the floor. Carrillo follows, getting lifts up to the apron. Gargano kicked in the face. Recovers and hits Carrillo with the slingshot spear back in the ring. Gargano with a drop kick to the back of the neck. Cover, 1-2, kick out. And down the stretch by Gargano. Carrillo fights out of it, hits a backswing elbow. Gargano tries to find safety on the floor, but gets cleared out with a twisting crossbody. Always love those twisting crossbodies. They always look great. Carrillo with a massive missile dropkick, standing moonsault cover for the 2 count. He looks for a moonsault off the top rope, but meets Gargano's feet. Gargano lands the super kick, long dart into the second turnbuckle, slingshot DDT for the 1-2-3. And Johnny Gargano is your winner. People are probably wondering, why did Humberto Carrillo make Johnny Gargano struggle to beat him? Johnny Gargano is just too good. As I already mentioned, in 205 Live, he challenged Buddy Murphy for the Cruiserweight Championship. He just made his debut at 205 Live. And the fact that these are both network shows, they want him to look strong with the fact that he just made his debut. Why would you have him go up against Johnny Gargano, get wasted in about a 2-minute match, and then go up to 205 Live and anyone take him seriously? Wins and losses don't matter in this fact that if you lose while looking strong while losing, you still come out sort of a winner, because you still look like, especially when you're going from NXT to the main roster, which 205 Live is part of the main roster, you still look good in the end. Post-match, Johnny Gargano tells North American champion Ricochet if he wants some respect, show up next week. And then some random location, as we know, with Tommaso Ciampa in his random spots. Ciampa says if Black refers to him as the puppet master, then Black is the biggest puppet of them all. He continues that Black wants him to show up next week to fight, but Ciampa says the only fights on the biggest stage, so they will wait. That's what big players do. Ciampa tells Black to listen closely, be careful what you wish for. Then we have Keith Lee versus Cassius Ohno as your main event. Ohno, let's talk him to be, because on the 2-hour edition, I believe it was a 2-hour edition of NXT, which was only one match of Cassius Ohno versus Matt Riddle. Cassius Ohno, after the match, who looked like he faked out Matt Riddle, looked like he was looking for a fist bump, took out Matt Riddle, and has made him not medically cleared for in-ring competition. Keith Lee, I believe it was last week, challenged Cassius Ohno to a match for this week, and that's where this has come from. Ohno tries for a headlock, but Lee hits a shoulder block to send him down to the mat. Lee lifts Ohno up for a powerbomb, but Lee gets out of it. Lee leaps over Ohno, running crossbody, cover for the 2, Irish whip, but Ohno gets out of the ring, then he hits the ropes. Lee looks to fly, but Ohno moves and takes time getting back into the ring. Crowd with the "Oh, bask in his glory" chant, which that's just... Keith Lee is one of the most over guys in NXT, and the guy's only been here for a little while, and it's just amazing. Lee goes out to get him. Ohno gets back to the ring, and Lee catches Ohno's kick and pops him in the face. Big back body drop on Ohno. Ohno avoids a charging Lee in the corner. Ohno with a big boot punches another couple kicks to the face. Ohno tries to Irish whip Lee, who grabs the ropes. Ohno with some big strikes, forearm to the back of the head, cover for the 2. Ohno continues to maul his opponent. Look for a running senton. Lee gets his short knees up. Lee lifts and sends Ohno across the ring. Charges in the corner, gets sent to the apron. Slingshot crossbody pin for the 2 count. Ohno looking for mercy, but just finds more pain. Or some more pain and agony. Lee with a double chop to his chest. I would not, and I'm telling you this right now, I would not want to sit there in that corner and take that double chop by Keith Lee. I don't care if anyone says, oh, it's just wrestling, it's fake. stand in the corner with your chest exposed, and let big old Keith Lee take his hand and just chop you down. No, thank you. That's one of those list of things I would not want to take. Ono chops with a rolling elbow, but gets pounced. Lee lifts Ono. Ono grabs the top rope and then shoves Lee, who's knocked back, knocks down the referee while the ref is dazed. Ono with a low blow from behind, rolling pin, rolling elbow for the 1-2-3. Cassius Ono is your winner. After the match, Riddle comes down in the ring with the referees close behind him. Ono barrels out of the ring as Riddle checks on Lee. Riddle yells at Ono to close the show. And that was your NXT. People are probably wondering, why did Keith Lee lose? Two reasons. One, Matt Riddle and Cassius Ono are not dead yet, by a long shot, as you saw in the post-match. The fact that Riddle came down and yelled at him while he was leaving, and he chased him off. Two, Keith Lee just got to NXT. I know, I hope this isn't an Apollo Crews thing where we see Keith Lee in NXT and then thrown it to the main roster before he's ready. Definitely not one of those things, and I hope Triple H, who has a better head on this stuff now, does not let Keith Lee go immediately, like we did with Apollo Crews, who could have used another year in NXT. He really never established who he was in NXT. Keith Lee does have a little bit more of an identity, but he still has a way to go, work on his promos, work on his ring presence and everything. This match was not as good as match as Lars Sullivan versus Keith Lee. Yes, Keith Lee lost to Lars Sullivan. Of course, looking back on it now, everyone's like, why did he lose to Lars Sullivan? Because WWE wants to make Lars Sullivan the big monster on the main roster, and you really wouldn't have a guy like Lars Sullivan go out on his back. And no, Keith Lee should not be coming up, but Keith Lee is going to be, quite honestly right now, Keith Lee is not factoring into either the North American Championship, the NXT Championship, the tag team titles, which quite honestly, I think that if they want to and they want to try and give Keith Lee something, him and Matt Riddle, I guess, are best really good friends. I don't know if they've actually teamed together, but there you go. You have Matt Riddle, the bros, Matt Riddle and Keith Lee. That would be for like a tag team, but you already have the War Raiders and the Undisputed Era going for those, Johnny Gargano and Ricochet, as well as Tommaso Ciampa and Aleister Black. He's not factoring into anything for TakeOver Phoenix, so quite honestly, him losing right now does not hurt him for later. Maybe he has something going into TakeOver Brooklyn 5 or TakeOver New York, whatever the fuck they're calling it, or TakeOver Toronto in SummerSlam weekend. Keith Lee's going to be fine. Him losing to Cassius Ohno, who needed the win to make himself look stronger, who's already lost twice to Cassius Ohno, one in 6 seconds, by the way, and the other one on a episode of NXT, and I don't think most people watched it, would think it was the New Year's edition, the day after New Year's edition of NXT. Yeah. There was nothing. But Keith Lee will be fine. This is just, he's not being used for anything more than, he's not being the jobber to the stars like you would see, like Kona Reeves, who, what happened to Kona Reeves? He's kind of disappeared. That's somebody who I saw nothing in. He was there for a bit. They tried what they could with him, and he kind of disappeared. So somebody like that, who has, who they gave a shot to and has nothing. People connect with Keith Lee. People are, Keith Lee is 100% over in NXT. This guy will have a prominent role, most likely for the North American Championship later down the line. Like I said, if Matt Riddle and Keith Lee are, if the other titles are being held up towards Brooklyn 5, I'm going to say Brooklyn 5, just Brooklyn 5, or whatever they do in between Brooklyn 5 and Toronto 2, I could honestly see Keith Lee and Matt Riddle challenging the War Raiders for the tag team titles, or the Undisputed Era, whoever hold the titles. If the War Raiders don't win the tag team titles at Phoenix, then I can honestly see Matt Riddle and Keith Lee maybe teaming up. Maybe, I don't know. We could see. We'll have to wait and see. But Keith Lee is going to be fine. It was just a match against Cassius Ohno, who had to look strong. Not the best episode of NXT, but have there ever been a really bad episode of NXT? Not really. Of course, this episode of NXT got overshadowed with the 4 names that asked for their releases. We'll go over that this Saturday on Unscripted. There is a lot to go over this weekend. AEW news. Quite honestly, Unscripted is going to be WWE-centric news, and anything that ties into All Elite Wrestling will all be at the end of the show. So, if you want to check out Unscripted this week, we will be talking about AEW because they have made a new acquisition. as well as they had a nice little invasion of a indie show this week. So this week's show of Unscripted is going to be action-packed. We have so much to go over. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video, follow me on Twitter at TheFronts, follow me on twitch.tv/TheFronts08. I will be streaming at about 4 o'clock today. Until then, I will see you guys this Saturday for Unscripted. Until then, my name is TheFronts, and you guys have a good one.